be sitting there in the car just thinking about life, just like, wow.
You're just outside the studio for hours, just like.
You're like, is he good? Is he good?
Just, like, just looking like Vegeta in the rain.
And then he goes back, listens to the episode, and he's like, yeah, I guess I understand. I understand where they're coming from. He's sitting there in the middle of making, y'all downstairs making beats, listening to the artist, and he's like, you're like, Jackson, you good? You're like, no.
Do you ever just think about life?
Just like, I definitely wasn't down with the get down this time. I definitely wasn't doing that. Welcome back to the DWG podcast. We're down with the get down. I'm your co-host, Romel.
And your boy, Derek.
Appreciate y'all coming through for another installment. We have our special guest, Mr. Jackson Henderson.
Hey,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coming back for us. If you guys weren't in the last episode, Mr. Jackson Henderson owns Damage. He's the second half, right?
Yep.
Second half of Damage Media Group. He is the one who blessed us with this studio to be able to record for you guys. Check out his content. All his stuff will be down in the description below. And we'll get that going, man. How you feeling? How you living?
Doing good, man. It's great to be able to conversate with you guys and to be on y'all's podcast. So yeah, I'm glad.
Don't forget, we're gonna put the album. In
yeah. If you guys weren't the last one, my boy has an album. Just dropped yesterday.
Yep. Just dropped. Come to DMG. That's the name of the album.
Come to DMG. Yeah, you got it on. I see it on the chest.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yup. I showed people. I was like, okay, boy,
So
got merch.
I'm not even going to act like I made that up. Basically, where that came from is y'all remember the famous speech that Suge Knight did at the award show? So basically, that was back when Death Row was like Snoop Dogg and Tupac, like that whole beef thing.
Yeah.
Well, Suge Knight was like, if you're an artist and you want to be a star and you don't want
Come
your
to Death Row.
yeah.
How many times?
He's like, come to Death Row. Well, that's why I named it Come to DMG, because I want people to, the whole album, I'm not on the album.
Yeah.
But it says like Damage Media Group, Super Hendo, and Ryan Olsen are like the owners of the album.
Yeah.
But I'm not on any of the songs. Ryan's not on any of the songs. So all the artists are like pushed to the forefront. Like our picture isn't on the album cover, nothing. So you wouldn't even know we're a part of it unless you saw like who the artists are or whatever, like Damage Media Group, Super Hendo, Ryan Olsen. So I took that personally when Suge Knight said that. Kind of like that's smart to say like, hey, if you're an artist and you don't want, the executive producer, or you don't want the owner like all up in your videos and being like, making it about themselves, then, come to Death Row. So I said, come to DMG.
Come to DMG, one-stop shop. We gonna whatever you want, we gonna take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yep, I fuck with it tough. And then you do rap, you rap as well, don't you?
Yeah.
I've seen some of your stuff. I was like, this man out here spitting.
Yeah, people, some of the artists on the album like were wanting me on the album. I'm like, no, I don't want it to be about me. I want you guys to be the forefront. I want to show you off. So, but yeah, I do have a song that's actually coming out the 21st, April 21st, the day before the album. It's with me and two people who are on the album, Coffee and Crisis J. So, yeah, we'll perform that song at the concert.
Gotcha.
Bet. So we got to make sure we pull up on the 22nd, right?
Yep.
Right.
22nd.
It's gonna be right here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually going to be at Carolina Watershed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Nah.
It's actually a really cool place. They've got so they have their inside. It's like a big round like table area, like a bar, and then they have like a semi outside where it's like enclosed with just like plexiglass or whatever. And then they have an actual outside where they have, as I said, like their concert stage area. They've got another bar. Then they have another bar like up top, and they have like a waterfall and games. You can like do axe throwing and all kinds of different stuff there. So that's why
it's about to be a little vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I wanted it there because I was like, I wanted somewhere that's going to be fun. Like I want to have games. Like we might do a pie in the face. Like I just want to do something different to where people are like, man, this DMG is like a fun thing to do. They're not all about like grabbing money from people. Like,
and plus it's a standout thing. Like it's something you would remember.
Yeah.
It's
you
not
don't
like
hear about studios throwing like he's like, okay, like a little listening party, has some drinks and stuff like that. You're like, no, we got axe throwing.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if no offense to Yo Gotti and CMG, but if they were throwing like some sort of concert, you would think it's probably just going to be like at the Orpheum or something, and then it's just like everybody shows up, they play music, and everybody leaves. But like they're not going to be doing a bunch of fun stuff. Like I might give away prizes. Like
Trying to be, he's a man for the community.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what DMG stands for, is being able to help artists be able to become better artists and better business people. Because like I've been teaching the artist on the label, like this is how you get your publishing. This is how you get your copyrights for this stuff. Like other labels are like, no, you don't need to know that.
Yeah, we take care of it.
Yeah, we're going to take care of all that.
You make music, big dog.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
You're
that.
trying to make sure, these people don't get screwed over. Or
Exactly.
anything, and not take advantage of, because that happens a lot. Like big studios take advantage of like artists and everything like that. There's nothing they can do about it because they signed a contract already.
Exactly. Yeah. I even if you go to the website for Eventbrite, you can get the tickets on Eventbrite. I put $10 for the ticket. Like I could have charged more than that. I went to a show last night that was, I think it was like $20 or $25 to get in.
Yeah.
So we're charging $10 to get in, and I put on there, if you pay $25, the other $15 just goes straight to the artist. Like I'm not even going to take that. So.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. So yeah, you guys do pull up for sure. I say pay that 25.
Yeah, because it's
Support the
literally
artist.
just going straight to the artist. Like we're not taking any of it.
That's love right there. And then they can get their fan base, get them to pull up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
And
that's
we're,
more exposure.
we're trying to do something pretty cool. I got to get in contact with these people, but there's I don't know if I told y'all, but I was in the Air Force. And
I appreciate you for your service.
Thank
We
you.
were literally talking about the military. For some reason, I was like, I don't know if it's the American flag on his hat. I was like, or is the fact that this man is fucking swole.
One of the two.
Something about it just screams military.
But so our mascot for the company is a rhino.
Yeah.
And so we picked that because it's damaged media group, something that just causes a lot of damage. But I found an organization full of military veterans that have like a reserve in Africa or somewhere. And they basically do a lot of funding and helping like animals like giraffes, hippos, rhinos, stuff like that are in Africa. And I want to do a partnership with them for the concert so that we could donate like some of our proceeds to their organization. So I thought that'd be really cool.
That would be.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, man.
Yeah.
Because I know there are some, I don't know if they do this, but there are some like places where they like some rhinos like break off their horns or whatever, and they put like a thing on and kind of like silicone it or whatever, so they can not look weird to the other animals.
Oh.
They do that with like rhinos, some birds that kind of break parts of their beak off so they can actually like eat normally, and like other things like that. So it's actually pretty cool that they like go in and like try to fix the animals and make sure they're like okay or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's one of the I know this is going to be the cool episode. but it's kind of sad, like thinking about like a giraffe or a rhino or elephants, like just looking for water. Like if I could change anything about this earth, it would be resources for animals, because like they're literally just wandering around trying to be like, I hope I find water this week. Or
It's like,
I hope I find grass.
I'm a little thirsty.
So that's pretty crazy. Like, just being an animal, period. So random segue, but today my dog ran out the house and then it came back inside. It left the door open. I'm in my studio. I have a home studio, and then my wife, she was in her home office. A bird flew in our house this morning, and it didn't know how to get out. It got stuck, and it was sitting on the windowsill. And it just was like trying to flap its wings, and it just kept like fluttering because it thought it could just get out because we got clean windows. But but my wife ended up just taking a blanket, and she just walked up to it, and she just did like this, and it landed right in the blanket. She just went outside and just let it go.
That's the funniest thing when they get inside and they're just like, all right, I don't know how to get out now.
Yeah, they feel like they're trapped.
Yeah, because what was it? So I got home the other day, right?
Right.
And Allie had called me, and she was like, "Hey, there's a turtle in the garage," and I was like, "Okay."
That's so specific. How the hell?
Yeah,
Because so there's the
lake.
big ass lake,
Yeah.
right? But for it, the turtle was pretty small. For it to have gotten all the way to my garage without getting taken out by, I think it didn't get taken out by a bird because it was going to storm. It was that really bad storm that I think was that was Wednesday, right? Well, it was Tuesday or Wednesday. It was a really bad storm. I know, but it was really bad storm, and so she was like, we have to do something with it. I was like, we can put it in the lake, but it's about to storm. And she's like, well, can we go like right now? And I was like, yeah, I guess, get in the car. So we got to put him in the cup. Little bro was crawling on me and everything. Named Michelangelo because he's the same turtle Michelangelo is.
That's funny.
So I named little Michelangelo, and then I put him in the lake and I let him go. But you know, most people
got swooped up by a hawk.
Bro,
nature took its course.
No, look, there's a bird, and I grabbed a little rock. I was like, if you fucking dare, you little bitch, I will chuck
That
this
man
at
was
you.
ready. He was like, he said he looking at you like, I'm thirsty. And he's like, I haven't eaten all week.
Yeah,
and you're depriving me of this because of your heart.
he can find somebody else.
He's like, I don't care how you feel.
That turtle probably escaped that area and got to and thought
And
it was
you,
safe.
and you put him back. You put him back.
Look,
Bro, mad.
all I know. Well, no.
He turned around immediately. And
He
was
went
like,
in the
"Pick me back
water.
up."
He went in the water. I didn't, because like most people like just toss them.
Jesus.
Bro, I've seen people like take, and this is the thing too. People need to understand the difference between a tortoise and a turtle, because they kill a lot of tortoises by mistake, because tortoises cannot swim. They don't go in water. So people are like, oh, I found a turtle, and then they'll grab it and they'll toss it in the water. Meanwhile, bro is drowning. He's like, you think you did a good deed, and you're walking away all happy, and he's like, oh, nigga, help. He's dying, and you're not. You killed him.
Honest mistake though.
Bro,
Look, I don't.
Honest mistake.
You know how many probably TikTok videos are out there?
There's a lot,
of people
bro.
just like,
Bro,
be
there
free.
was a TikTok video of this person saving a tortoise, right? They put it in the water, deep part of the water, and they're like, all right, swim away. And everybody in the comments were like, that's a turtle. I mean, that's not a turtle.
Man.
It can't swim. You killed it. And they went back, and it was dead. And they were crying on camera. And I'm like, bro, you're crazy.
Is it obvious, like the difference between the two?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Is it like
So, like
an alligator and a crocodile type thing?
It's a little weird too, because like so all turtles pretty much are kind of set up to where like they're a little bit webbed. So like you can kind of tell that they can swim. Tortoises, on the other hand, they're typically the big ones, unless it's like a sea turtle.
Okay.
But like most tortoises are fairly big and they're slow.
So if it looks like Blastoise, then it's a
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Tortoises
Yeah.
tortoises are slow. Turtles are not slow. And turtles can climb because they have
can
claws.
climb?
Yeah, they have claws.
Oh my goodness.
Like
bro, it's like, hold up.
yeah, they have claws, they can climb and do all that stuff. Like it climbed on me. I had a long sleeve shirt on, and it climbed up on the shirt. It was just chilling.
That's how he knew it was. That's how he knew what it was. He would have thought he thought it was a tortoise at first. He's like, oh wait, okay, you're climbing.
Yeah. No, I knew what it was though, because I randomly looked up like what all the Ninja Turtles were like modeled after, and it's the same one. So like I already knew, but yeah, a lot of people just kill tortoises by mistake because they think that they're all the same thing.
That's crazy.
So it's like the difference between like a frog and a toad.
Yeah, and I don't know the difference between those two. I always
Like
think toads are like brown and frogs like green.
Well, like frogs are typically small, so like and toads are bigger.
Okay, yeah, I think I thought that as well.
So it's pretty much like the same kind of concept. Like they look a little bit different. They're still kind of the same, but like they just look a little bit different. And like most frogs have like little sticky stuff on their feet, so they can like climb on stuff. I don't think toads can do that. I think toads are typically like just on the floor.
It's kind of just there.
Yeah,
These are the things that we should learn in high school and middle school.
bro.
These are the interesting
Most
things.
of the stuff I learned was because I loved zoo books.
Zoops, they live.
and all that stuff, and then like I watched a lot of like nature documentaries and stuff. So like that's the reason that I know so many things about like animals and stuff. And then like the dude who does what is it
You talking about the
Hood Geographics.
Oh no, I was thinking about the guy that stings himself. That with like the it's a guy. He's like what? Yes.
Yeah. What is his name?
Is it Brave Wilderness or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Where he like gets stung by like all the different types of bees and bit by like all the different types of like ants and stuff like that.
Like the strongest, like the ones that just like they're not gonna kill you instantly, but like
even the ones that will kill you.
Oh, well, yeah.
But he has people like on standby for him, and it is so funny because he'll get stung and then he'll immediately like.
Yeah, he literally goes into like this
he's like one he almost went into shock. But
Jeez.
his pain tolerance is crazy.
The thing that's crazy is he never kills those things. Like he'll make sure that like no matter how much pain he's in, he makes sure he puts it back in the thing, and so they can let it go.
Is he doing it for education or is
Yes.
it okay?
So like he does it for education and obviously for views and stuff
Entertainment,
like that.
yeah.
But he gets stung by these things so that he can explain to you what it does, so you can visibly see how it affects the body, and not to fear these insects and things like that. So
We must protect this man at all costs.
Look, I don't think he can protect himself because
Bro, he had what was it? He let a centipede fucking bite him. When I saw that one, I was like, oh my god,
What happened?
It was just intense. Like when he doesn't let them sting and then he pulls it out real quick. He lets them like take the course.
Yeah.
Like they'll
Because
like
he'll-
sting
so
and they'll
he'll-
hang in there for a second.
yeah, they'll be in like a glass thing or whatever, and he'll just slide it on his arm, and then he'll probably like move a little bit. They'll sting him, and then he'll try, if he can, he'll try to take it off and put it back in the thing. If not, then he just kind of figures it out.
Yeah, he
because like
he
sometimes
figures it out
he'll
all the time for some reason.
he'll put them on the little
Yeah, he'll put them in the prongs. Like he'll have the
in the
little thing, and then
prongs,
see if
and then
they
he'll
sting.
just-
And if they don't do that, then he usually try to get a glass or something like that. Let them sniff the area, and then they'll be like, something's wrong, and then they'll sting them.
Yeah. He's never done that with bees though, because he said the bees will die, obviously. So he doesn't want any of the animals or whatever to die. He just wants for you to know what it's like.
And he hunts them down too. Like dude,
Yeah,
would be
like,
out there
he'd
for
be
days.
hunting.
Like it was like what the bullet ant or something like that, and it has like one of the strong, like super, like up there. That was the one that almost took him out. That had him going to the hospital.
Yeah, and the what is it, the thing that be taking out hawks,
The tarantula was it?
the tarantula hawk, he got
Yeah.
bit by that too.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that was like it looked like a giant like wasp.
Yeah, it looks like a mix between a spider and a wasp. Like the thing
it's-
is freaky.
That's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, bro. Like
you know what I haven't seen him get bit by?
what?
Those spiders in Australia.
Oh,
Those
yeah, yeah.
gigantic.
Big-
Yeah, I've never seen them get bit by.
They
them.
might not bite as hard. They might their venom might take you out for sure.
They're
but
fucking
like,
terrifying.
Have you seen camel spiders?
Yes.
Those are pretty terrifying. I remember when I found out about them when I was like, I think I was in like middle school or something like that. And my dad was actually in the army. He got deployed to Afghanistan or Iraq or something after 9/11. And I would show him, I was like, Dad, have you ever seen these? And he was like, yeah, I saw them when I was deployed. He was like, they literally just want to be in your shadow all the time. They just come up and just be in your shadow, and then they don't bother you. I was
Yeah.
like, that
Because
is
it's so
that's
hot.
freaky, bro.
Yeah.
It's because it's so hot.
Yeah.
And like that's the only shade they get because they're so used to they come out at night. And so they're like, oh, there's shade right here. And in your head, you're like, this thing is fucking trying to kill me.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I'm just trying to get some shade, bro.
I'm just trying to share your resources, big dog. But then if I was in the military, I'd been shooting the most.
Like, but that's
I would turn around and see
he has
it.
he has arachnophobia, which and the thing
It's not as bad as it used to be.
yes,
Yeah, it's like
I
'cause
will
I can
say
I can kill him no problem. So I say like if I can kill him and not run away, then it's not a full phobia. So he'll call it arachnophobia.
Look.
I just don't like spiders like that.
Bro.
I love Spider-Man.
when that's the thing that's crazy. All people who have arachnophobia, for some reason, they like Spider-Man. That's been the case with almost every person I know that has arachnophobia. They love Spider-Man. That's like their favorite superhero.
Well, maybe they think of he's like their hero because he's overcome the spider. He's like the spider god.
Yeah. Spider God.
But no, you were definitely scared when we lost that spider in your
Oh,
room.
nigga, you were scared too.
I wasn't scared.
Bro was in shock. He left my house immediately. We lost the spider. It was a random little small black spider.
No, it wasn't a small. It wasn't small.
It looked
No,
small.
it wasn't. It was like it was like
The hell was like a fingernail size.
no, it wasn't. Because it was on me. It was like half of this size.
Oh, it was on you? I'm talking about the one that came down. No,
The one we lost on your couch. It was half of that size.
Okay, so yeah, he came down, and we look over to the side. I made a whole Snapchat story about him leaving me. And I still have that shit saved. I damn near should add it on. I should send that to you so you can put it on here of the story.
I don't care.
Because I have it. And it was funny because dude literally looked at me. We looked at each other because we both tried to hit it at the same time. What did I have? My phone? No, I think I tried to hit it with my hand.
No, you tried to hit it with your.
Yeah, I had my.
phone.
I was like, ooh, what do I have? I don't have paper, and I was like, I need to act quick because with spiders, you like if I don't catch you now, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I instantly grab. I see the back of my phone. I'm like, all right, it's flat. I'm finna smack it. We immediately did it at the same time. I hit this and he punched my phone.
Yeah.
And then we looked.
I didn't have my phone next to me. I was like, the only thing I got is this fist.
All I have is this. So we look at the back of my phone. We look at his hand. Nothing. And then he immediately. I was like, ooh, He was like, we were like, I'm hot. We were like, I'm hot. I'm sweating. I'm having a flashback right now. So I'm getting hot thinking about it. Because it happened so fast. And then he just looked and he was like, I think it's time for me to go. What? And then he was like, I think it's time for me to go. And I'm like, what? Is he going to leave me? He was like, yep. And just left.
Because the thing, too, is I don't know what kind of spider it is. And I was like, look, we've lost it at this point, and we're chilling on the couch. I'm not getting bit.
I left.
He slept downstairs.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I said, nah,
Bro,
I couldn't do it.
the other day I was driving, right? And I was driving, and there was something that was hanging down from my window.
Right.
I thought it was like a long piece of hair, because it's happened before. So I let the window down. For some reason, this long piece of hair at the end opened up like this. and because I let the window down, the wind blew it. So it went on me. And so it was this little black spider that jumped on me.
Man.
And I'm driving to work, and I'm like, I can't freak out because I'll fucking crash. I'm hitting my arm and shit, and I don't know where it went. And I'm trying to keep driving, but I'm trying to look for it. I don't know where it went. I didn't find it. I don't know what happened with it.
It's the cars now. It's fine.
I'm like, I get to work, I should fucking take my thing out my hair, and I start shaking my hair around because I'm just trying to make sure.
Bro is having a panic attack.
Bro, there was one time that I had a spider in my hair though.
That's scary.
Yeah, so like I lost the spider, and then I shook my hair out, and then I was like, man, that piece of hair is pretty long. It wasn't. It was not.
Yeah, the only thing worse than finding a spider is losing a spider.
No, yeah.
Like, I've left my room many occasions when I couldn't find something. I would literally try to smash it into the carpet, and then it'd be one of the brown joints.
Oh.
And then they use like, I don't see the destruction that I caused.
Bro,
It can have the room now.
I was
It's fine.
I was in the car, so I was like, I gotta make the car as cold as possible. Because I was like, it's just gonna have to fucking be cold, because like they need warmth.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna make it cold.
And it goes to you. It finds the warmest thing in the car, and it's you.
But at least at that point, I can kill it though. Like it's worse if you have no idea where it is and you're driving. So all of a sudden, it can just like come down in your view. Look.
See, I have a fear that I'm gonna find, like you talking about the warm places. I have a fear that when you can't find bugs on you, that they're inside your clothes. And that's where I get annoyed. That's the part that gets me, is if a spider is on me and then all of a sudden I'm like, boom, 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 I pat myself and there's nothing, and I'm like, did it go in my pants? Please don't tell me it's in my pants.
Have you ever had ants in your pants before?
No, I've stepped on an anthill before.
Ants in your pants is fucking terrible. So like like years ago, I used to cut grass and shit. And so we were in Mississippi. I was cutting my aunt's yard, and I went through it like this ant. Like I missed one anthill, but in the middle of doing that, I went through another one. all of them got on my pants. They all went in my pants. So my dad is on the phone, and all of a sudden he just sees me. I rip my shirt off, I take my pants off, and I'm running to the house. And then he's like, what the hell? I'm knocking on the door for my cousin. Bro, Henry was on the game, right? This motherfucker didn't come down immediately. So I'm over here. I panic because I tried to call him.
Bro is butt naked outside.
And I call him and I go inside, and then I was like, yo, I need you to get the water hose. So we got the water hose and we sprayed me down and everything. And so I just kind of sat in the house for a while because my underwear was wet. And I'm like, man, this is fucking terrible.
Bro just went through a traumatic experience.
They were biting my ass, literally.
I'm dead. Speaking of traumatic experiences, we got some topics on the board for today. We got some topics on the board for today. And if you guys have not been keeping up within the action community, another thing, person in particular, you might want to stay away from this. He's not an ant, but he is the GOAT. You like what I did right there?
Yeah, it was smooth.
Yeah. But we recently saw, what was it, like last week or two ago?
Yeah, it was like a week or so ago.
Yeah, we saw John Wick 4 out here.
Yep, saw it twice.
Oh, yeah.
It was an experience.
It's
honestly, so it's the best one out of the 4, and it's probably my favorite action movie.
As far as on my end, great movie. I think it was fantastic. It was greatly executed, and then as far as visual wise, on point as always with John Wick movies.
Extremely unique. Like the reason, like I don't give a lot of movies like 10 out of 10, but like this is definitely like 10 out of 10 because like they do.
He said 10 out of 10.
Look, well, it's also because like they do a lot of things that like I've never actually seen in a movie. Like they have the top down part where it's like Diablo. So like he's just going through and he's like shooting everybody with like the incinerator rounds and everything. So it's like that whole entire area is like just a top down view, and it looks really, really cool.
So somebody, I don't know if y'all follow. Y'all probably don't because you were talking about Xbox earlier. There's some guy, he's got a PlayStation channel, and he was mentioning there's an old game that I think got remade, and it was in the whole game is a top down view, and so he was mentioning John Wick. So now that makes sense. Yeah.
So
for everybody, I haven't seen the movie, so
yeah, but definitely like it, and also I think they wrapped it up in a very nice way. Yeah, and it also leaves it a little bit open if they want to do something else, because I feel like they can still have him in it. They would just have to kind of explain it because he survives like things that he should not.
Yeah, unless they take do a flashback. If they do a flashback to when he was in his prime.
Well, yeah,
but then they would have to have a younger version of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, and I don't really want that. Also, I like that like in these movies, Keanu Reeves is like, he keeps a lot of the same people. So like all the people from The Matrix are in this. So all
except
of
for
this,
Jada.
Well, she was in the last one.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was in the third one.
She was in the third one. I don't remember him like that.
Yeah, so she was in the third one. But like all of the stunt devils, he got all of them from the Matrix movies and brought them in. They've been in every John Wick movie because he was like, I trust you guys the most. I've worked with you guys and I like all of you. And like in the first John Wick movie, if you look at them, some of them just had to like look different. So like some of them would go in with full sets of hair and then like cut some of their hair or like have a beard, cut some of their beard off and stuff like that. So they all looked different. But they were all still some of the same people. And he was like, you guys I trust you. So I got to work with you guys. And all the people that he likes to work with, he makes sure that all of them, regardless of who they are, have a place there.
One thing I can say about John Wick, like the series as a whole, especially in like the last movie, what I like about with Keanu Reeves' character is that even though the stuff that he does, I'm like, bro, the fuck? I was like, how the hell did they even work? But it's like, it's so over the top, but his character the entire time feels realistic. He's tired.
Yeah,
like, the entire time.
Like no matter all the damage he goes through, it's still somehow realistic.
He somehow still plays it up. I'm like, he's tired, but he keeps going. He's like if what's the guy? Daniel, the guy who play I forgot his last name, but the guy who plays 007. You know, Newt, like the James Bond of now. So with him, anytime he does something, he's like smooth dude. He's like, all right, cool, nothing happens. Like I just seen the explosion, just fought like 10 dudes, and then he's just like, typical day, and just walks off. And he's like, he gets beat up and he looks tired and stuff like that. But Keanu Reeves looks exhausted.
Yeah,
he looks exhausted, and he's still like doing the thing. Even with the movements, it's precise, but it's still like, I'm tired.
because and the thing too is like a lot of that. It's cool that they do it that way because watching all of the movies, if you watch like the first 3, all of that happens in the span of like 2 weeks. And then this third one, there's like a time lapse. But you know, the second movie to the third movie, everything happens. No, what is it? The second movie to the third movie, that happens immediately. So like at the end of the second movie, the beginning of the third movie is that. So no matter how tired he is, he's still going from that whole long thing. And they do really good like long shots of stuff and stuff like that. So they have really good like choreography. And I like that he does all of his own stunts. So like everything that he does is him. The only reason he has a stunt double is for certain drive scenes, and his stunt double is the person that runs. Because he has a bad knee. So since he has a bad knee, he's like, well, I don't really need you for like all the fighting stuff, but I have a bad knee. So anytime I'm running, I need you for that. So anytime you see him running, that's not him. So his stunt double has like an easy ass job.
See, I can't say with this one, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story a lot on this one. Like as far as like I knew like, the first 2 was just like jerk reaction. Like I'm like, I'm going through a lot. And then you just came and fucking killed my dog. Now I gotta kill everybody. I was like, I get it. I understand. I was like, it's like you just took out my homie. Like I gotta go get my get back. That makes sense. And then I forgot what the third one was about.
The third one was about the consequences of what he did. So the first one they killed his dog, stole his car. He tracked down those people. And the second one, he went to go get his car, and then the dude he had a marquee for because that was how he got out of being an assassin, and then he had to fulfill the request because he came back in for revenge. So he killed him, and then that's what went into the third one because he killed a table member in the Continental, so he got excommunicated, and then he had to go through that whole thing, and then after that situation, it's kind of still picking up from him being excommunicated and stuff like that.
They did wrap the fourth one. They wrapped it up in a bow because of how that stair scene. He was fighting for soul, and when you see the movie, it's one scene in particular where he's fighting the entire time. Like the whole city goes after him.
Yeah,
and he's fucking people up left and right, and it's like. And he's timed. He has to be there at a certain time.
He has to be there before sunrise, and everybody's just trying to kill him. And he goes all the way up the stairs, man. And that whole journey of going all the way up the stairs is fucking wild.
He's literally fighting people up the stairs, and it's not just like a couple stairs. It's like a lot.
It's like over
100.
No, it is over 100, but I think she said it was over like 400 steps.
Where does this take place?
Isn't it France? Yeah,
France. It was France? Okay.
This last movie was in France because the dude was French. So I can't remember the place that they were going to that he had to go meet the dude at, but yeah, so he's going through the whole city and everything, and there was the car scene where they were in the that one specific part in France where it's like all of the cars kind of go around in that big area.
Yeah, roundabout.
Yeah. They were all fighting in there. So like everybody's just fighting, and then he'll grab somebody and throw them, and then a car comes and hits them and stuff like that. And it was fucking wild.
As far as action scenes, is that a category for Oscars? Like best action movie?
Best fight.
Best fight. I feel like they should. I feel like that. There's a couple of them in there where I'm just like, yeah, the one when he fought the fat dude, that shit was hilarious.
the guy who was in the fat suit, I can't remember what his name is, but he is. I'm actually surprised he was able to move that well because he's in a lot of old like fighting movies and stuff like that. But I can't remember one that he's in necessarily. I can't remember the names. I think he might have been in Don't Back Down or something like that. But he was doing really good.
He was moving in that thing.
Yeah. It was funny when he got shot in the ass. but yeah, they said that this movie is a revolutionary action movie. Like it's set the bar for what action movies can really just do. That doesn't seem super unrealistic. Because I like in the third one and the fourth one, and even part of the second one, as it kind of goes on, you also understand more about the world because it does pretty good with like world building and stuff like that. So like the story and everything is really good. And like John Wick doesn't talk very much, but the story and people around him is what creates the majority of the story. So I've always liked that aspect too.
It's always good. I feel like that's a good gig to have as an actor and be like, I don't have to talk much. Like I just gotta grunt and run. He's just like,
I just gotta say, yeah.
That's literally what he says throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
Is that he's like, I need another gun, and then he goes run off. Need another gun, running off.
Bro, it's always funny when he runs out of ammo and he just throws the gun at somebody.
Anytime he runs out of ammo, just throw the gun at the forehead. But nah. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I feel like it might grow on me. Watch it again a couple times, but I think it is the best out the series. How it wrapped up story wise, and then it was one of them things where I know in the second and third one I was kind of like, all right, cool. I wasn't feeling them as much, and then with this one I was like, okay, I see it. I was like, I see it a little bit more. I get it, but yeah.
I've always been a super huge like John Wick fan. So after this one, when they released the disc where they have all of them, I'm gonna buy that.
Oh yeah.
And I already have like one of the John Wick figures, and then I got that shit from AMC.
You need to get the pistol. See if you can get a replica.
That costs too much money. I would get one if I could afford it, but that's like. It's almost like $6,000.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's a
that reaction. Said, oh my goodness.
So like
my word.
So the gun. Wait, you said a replica or like the real thing? Because you can buy the real thing.
I just say get a replica. I just say get. The
I'm
real
gonna get the
thing.
real thing.
All right.
But so you remember everything that he was saying to him about what the gun does?
Yeah.
All of that is a real thing, and in order to buy, it's like $6,000 or something like that with all that shit attached to it.
Okay, so it's really the attachments and stuff.
Well, it's the attachments and the type of gun and everything too. So it cost a lot of money.
I just know when he the way he explained it, it was sexy. It's a nice gun. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even into guns like that. And I was like, I think I need to start a collection. Need to do something.
I think I'm gonna need a gun.
I think I'm gonna need a gun. That man, like, and then they had the little duel at the end. That shit was that did throw me for a loop. I was like,
Donnie Yen, he is amazing.
He was killing it, bro.
So he's blind in this movie, and I will say, some parts of it, I'm looking, I'm like, that nigga's not blind.
Ain't that the dude from IP, man?
Yes.
So I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, this is the same guy. That's why
is he just blind in the movie? Or is he actually blind?
Just in the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
That's why in that one scene where he was doing the really fast punch, that was an homage to those movies.
Oh,
because that's what he does in those movies.
Now I need to go watch those movies.
You've never seen them?
I've never seen any.
They're really good. All of them. You probably. My favorite one is the one with Mike Tyson.
I did see that fight.
Yeah.
I saw that fight on. I think it was on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was like, this man, boxing.
Yeah. But yeah, he did a really good job. He was and in this one too. I like this. The other reason why it's my favorite is because it's the funniest one. Like all of them have like funny aspects to them, but this one was just funny as well as having a whole bunch of action and very serious and stuff like that.
It was just like it was over the top. It was
Yes.
over the top, which was needed for that series, it was a good thing.
Yes. Now, going into some more things that might be a little over the top.
Oh,
Blue Beetle trailer.
all right.
How'd you feel about it?
How did I feel about it? All right. So, very excited when I first heard about Blue Beetle. When I saw the trailer, made me even 10 times more excited because for what I was like the actor who's playing him. I liked him. I really like him. He y'all, if you guys have seen Cobra Kai, he's the main character. He plays Miguel, and I was like, oh, cool. I always like to see like actors who are coming up get bigger roles. And so I'm like, okay, you're doing something. You're doing you got some more stuff coming through, and it's good to see him get a role like that. Now I want to see, is he gonna be able to take on that mantle? But Blue Beetle is a new character. It's like when Tom Holland came out as Spider-Man. It was like, all right, cool. We don't know yet. We don't know how it's gonna be. But as far as the trailer, seeing him in it, and then seeing George Lopez, and then the other girl, she's been in some stuff too. I seen with the glasses in the trailer.
I don't know.
But I saw the cast and I was like, we're good. I was like, we're good. And then I seen the action and what the suit looks like, and I was like, that's a nice suit. Looks good. All that stuff. I was like, Marvel might be in trouble. They might be in trouble with this one because Shazam, in my opinion, was good. People still shit on Shazam, but I think it was a good movie. And then if
The
this
second one?
not Shazam, Black Adam.
Oh, okay.
I was like, when Black Adam came out, I was like, okay, they're doing something, and people didn't really like it like that. But we thought it both was good. But with this one, if it turns out to be a banger, then I feel like this is gonna keep the ball rolling for DC because DC hasn't had that many wins recently in a while. So if they pull this off, and then on top of them having the Flash movie, even though I don't want to watch it because of one person, but I do want to support the other people in the movie. But it looks good. It looks good so far.
So I would say Blue Beetle is definitely a character that most people aren't familiar with. Do you think that? So if let's say Blue Beetle takes off and it's like number one in America for like a couple weeks or something like that, do you think that is what DC needs to start doing? Is taking on these roles of let's take characters that most people are not familiar with and make those like our big movie because everybody knows Superman.
Yeah.
They know those kind of characters.
Yeah,
but-
they low key.
Well, that's so. I will say I didn't like the trailer, but
Wow.
but with that's the reason Marvel was so successful because Iron Man was not a famous character. He not a lot of people knew about Iron Man either. But when they made the Iron Man movie, he became the staple for the MCU, and from that, multiple other characters. Because like when you think of Marvel, typically more people think about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And when you think of like DC, people think Superman or Batman, one of the two. But Marvel brought in so many characters, especially like through X-Men and stuff like that, that a lot of people didn't really know about. So that's kind of where so many people have their thing. People are kind of tired of seeing like Batman and Superman all the time. So if they branch out with what they're doing with like Blue Beetle, like even though a lot of people don't know about Blue Beetle, if people end up really liking him, it can bring in new characters. They can probably do like Static Shock finally or something like that.
Yeah, that superhero fatigue is a real thing because people will, if they have something new, something fresh. Like I think that's kind of why Black Panther really took off the way it did, was because a lot of people didn't really know the story behind Black Panther and all the other things revolving around Wakanda. So I think that is a huge thing, in my opinion, is getting to know, because I don't really know that much about Blue Beetle. I think it'd be a great thing if they did a movie about like what's his name, Jason, the first Robin, and they did like a Red Hood type thing, or some other stuff, like those kind of side stories that most people don't know. I think would be
It's solid material. It's solid material to dip out in.
So
dip into.
I also don't think there's superhero fatigue either. I think that it's
Bad movie fatigue.
yeah,
bad movie fatigue.
because like you can like take for example, right, all of these movies that have come out, like so John Wick did better than Ant-Man 3 and Shazam. It's in the same genre of those movies, it's just a better movie altogether. Making these movies, all the movies that they've put out, they've just been really boring and people just haven't liked them. But when you start making something that's actually good, more people will just continue to go back to watch it. It's just like people don't have like Disney fatigue necessarily. Like it's just most of the Disney movies that have come out have just been really bad.
Yeah.
And people just don't like it. That's why like the Mario movie, it has record numbers and it's gonna break most of the records that like Disney has. It's like the highest grossing animated movie, and it's about to like surpass, I think, like Frozen 2 and The Incredibles 2.
What about that past Frozen?
Frozen 2.
Oh, what about Frozen 1? Did Frozen 2 outpass Frozen 1?
Yeah.
Damn. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because Frozen 1 was such a success, so many people were excited for Frozen 2, so that's why it's about to pass Frozen 2.
That's crazy. I need to go see that. I was actually gonna go see it yesterday, but some plans ended up changing, so I was at the house. But we were gonna go see it. So when I get back, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, it's actually really, really good. And I will say they don't have the Italian accents throughout the movie, and I actually think it's much better that they didn't do that.
I think that's what people were worried about the most at the beginning. They were like, "No, he don't sound like Mario."
I actually prefer that they didn't do that because it would have been really annoying if you because if you play Mario, he doesn't talk. No. So like, and there's no cutscenes of him actually just talking. He'll only say a few phrases. So like, if you really think about like an hour and like 40-something minute movie of him having that accent, it's kind of annoying. And also
Luigi
people would
too.
Probably call it racist because they're like, oh, it's a stereotype, blah, blah, blah. But like, they show like a part in there where they're using that voice for like an ad, basically. And you're like, okay, well, this is cool, whatever. And then they go and you actually hear their actual voice. And they're from New York. So like they have like a mix between like slightly Italian and like a Bronx accent.
So it's realistic.
Should have made him from like Jersey or something like that.
So
He's like, "Yo, Peach."
so like so like the base of the movie, without like spoiling anything, like they are human. So they are from the human world and they get transported into the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
So like they're from New York, something happened, they get transported in there. So that's why they have like that accent too. And then they kind of just go through the whole thing. And the movie was funny.
I like when movies explain things that, like, you know, the audience is gonna question. They're gonna be like, "Why doesn't he sound like the original? Why doesn't Luigi sound like this?"
Yeah.
And then it's like you address that.
They actually put in the original voice actor for Mario. He's in the movie. So he's I think he was like one of the people that helped with the ad and did the voices and helped them or whatever with it. And they were like, "Hey, do you think the voices are a little bit too much?" He's like, "No, they're great," and about all this other stuff and whatever. So like it's actually pretty cool. And then they actually show Mario's family and stuff like that, like more than just Luigi, like his mother and father and like all the siblings and stuff like
that's
that.
what's up.
And they have like the Italian family kind of thing. So it's actually a really good movie.
That could low key make them. They could capitalize off that because
Is Wario in there?
No, so they don't have Wario or
Waluigi.
Yeah, they're not in there. But I think they could kind of set it up for the second movie.
Yeah,
because they at the end. So there, when you see it, there's 2 after credit scenes. I would say only stay for like the first one because the second one, it's kind of a waste to stay for. I can tell it to you though because it doesn't really do anything. If you want me to.
I'll probably see it.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you.
I'll probably see it
because it's at the very end.
Because knowing me, you might say something. I'm like, I know what that is. I was like, I know what that is. Like, some of you, it'd be funny if you say it to me, and I love Mario, and so all of a sudden I'm just like,
no, this is literally just like one of those things where like it's not necessarily like how the end of Sonic was, where like you see the portal and then like Tails comes in. It's not like that. It's just like this. It's like one of those end of the credit things where it's just like I didn't need to stay for this sort of thing.
Okay.
Because it's at like the very, very end. So that's why I said I can tell it to you because it's just one little thing.
Yeah.
but it's up to you. I don't care.
It don't matter.
It's all it is it just shows Yoshi's egg. That's it.
Ah.
Like you see it, like you see it, the Yoshi like animal, whatever the fuck they are, the dinosaurs. You'll see them in the
So
movie,
it's basically, yeah.
but
Okay.
it's just like at the very very end of the trailer, it just shows like
The egg.
yeah,
So you just know that Yoshi's probably coming in.
yeah. I mean, but
So
But you already guessed it because they were
they're already there.
already in the movie.
yeah, because like they show them, they show some of the different worlds and stuff like that, and like you have like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is Seth Rogen. Not Seth Rogen.
I thought it was Seth Rogen.
Is it Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
Okay. He's Seth Rogen, and he like did not change his voice at all. He just sounds exactly like Seth Rogen. There's like this one part where he's looking at Mario, and you know how Seth Rogen's laugh is, and he has that stupid like laugh, and it just comes out of Donkey Kong's voice. It comes out of Donkey Kong's mouth, and it's just so fucking stupid.
funny.
He's like,
Oh.
but they have a cool little fight and everything like that. Like the movie to me was like, if you compare that movie to Sonic, the first Sonic movie, it's better than the first Sonic movie.
That was a good movie. But no, I think it was gonna happen. The fatigue. We were gonna go and piggyback into that conversation earlier. It was gonna happen. Because the MCU is you can only have that type of reign for so long. You can only go so long until people are like, all right, it's the same type of humor, same type of setup, and then like you're all tying things in, which is cool. But then it's kind of like, I think that you have to start branching out because these other movies are gonna start topping it, like the Mario movies topping Disney stuff, and then you got John Wick topping as an action movie. Like they're gonna, because these other movies and producers are starting to figure out the formula.
Yeah, I mean, because like the fatigue only comes in because your movies are just bad. Because like at a certain point, like the reason that the Marvel movie was so good and why like critics hate it so much is they purposely said like, I don't care about trying to make like an agenda or anything like that. Like I just want to make a movie for the fans and for kids. Something that the kids would like and something for like the fans that would like. And like critics didn't like that for some reason.
I don't know what it is, but fan service gets you paid. Fan service is what gets you paid sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
because I mean, like if you look at like all the movies for Phase 4, right? Pretty much all of them are trash. The best out of Phase 4 was the Spider-Man movie because of one, the nostalgia, because it brought all the other ones in, and there was a lot of fan service in there. So like, it had a good story and it gave people what they wanted, and it didn't have to have like an underlying message or change people to make them whatever kind of way, you know.
It was just executed greatly, and I was like, that was a perfect segue because I don't know if you thought I didn't forget. We talking about for DBZ talking about fan service because you just saw the Beast movie,
The
Superhero.
yeah,
The
Dragon Ball
super-
Superhero.
yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
about his form, the Beast.
Transformation.
Yeah, transformation.
Oh, okay.
How you feeling about that fan service right there?
I did not like that movie.
I was not prepared.
I did not like that movie at all. So I felt like it was very cheesy, and it felt like, I don't know. I just didn't like the storyline. I didn't like what was going on. They literally could have left out Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. That was completely irrelevant in my opinion. But yeah, I think they could have went somewhere completely different with that. I didn't like it at all.
It's my favorite one. I'm not gonna lie. It's my favorite movie, actually.
My favorite movie is probably the last Broly movie.
That's how I feel.
That's my favorite one.
I like that one.
And I didn't like it, that one. Like, so when I compare how I'm talking about the movie, I compare it as far as like story aspect. The movie is better. It's better than all of the other Dragon Ball Z movies to me because it has a better story than all of them. But if I'm just looking strictly off of like fighting, the Broly movie is the best because there's no actual real story. It just shows a little bit of story in the beginning, and then it's just straight fighting for the rest of it.
So we're really saying that Dragon Ball Z, like, super fans are just boring.
Well,
I would say
they do have the stereotype that Dragon Ball Z fans are very simple and they can't read. So
It was like all we want to see is fighting.
because
I'll say that so to your point,
Yeah.
the last Broly movie, I think it might have been really poor in story because it literally was just pretty much a remake of the first Broly movie.
Yeah.
So they were probably like, "There's no reason to just redo this," even though they still redid it.
yeah, like they only
They
changed
made,
like
they
certain
made his
little
character
aspects.
make more sense.
But I do, and so to what you said, I think it was important to put Goku, Vegeta, and Broly in superhero.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that have questions in between. Because I don't know if you read the manga or anything. So a lot of people have questions are like, hey, what's Broly doing? Because, at the end of that movie of Broly, he goes to visit him. So like, okay, well, they kind of speculate like what's going on in between this time. And this movie kind of shows, hey, we got Broly, we're trying to train him on Beerus's planet. So like, I think that is a good little aspect that they should have put in there. The one thing I would say is I understand the nostalgia that they tried to put in there with having Cell Max. I didn't like Cell Max though.
Really?
I think they could have used a different, like an all new character.
They could have brought Cell back all together.
They could have brought
at that
Cell
point.
back, and I think if they would have brought Cell back, he probably would have been a lot stronger than Cell Max because of all of the different cells that he has from everybody, and like he technically has Frieza cells, so he can technically go golden or all this other stuff because he can see everything that happens because they can view it all in hell, so like he can watch all of that stuff, and with Cell, he doesn't really need to like train necessarily, so.
Cell Max, I thought was lazy because it reminded me of Bio Broly.
Yeah, that too. That's
I
what.
was
That's
like-
the other reason I was like, I didn't really like. I will say, I think Cell Max is better than Bio Broly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a bad movie, Bio
Yeah.
Broly.
It's crazy. I watched it as a kid and I loved it.
Oh yeah, I loved Bio Broly as a kid, but
Yeah.
then once I like think about it, it's not good.
Yeah.
but definitely they could have still had the androids, but they could have just had like a different type of android. Like it doesn't need to be Cell. It could have just been like
I
whatever.
wish they would have perfected him, just so it would have gave him more of like a more. I feel like it would have instead of Piccolo having to bring that out of him, it would have been Cell like saying like, "Oh, I remember you." You the dude. Like, oh, okay, bet. Oh, you're grown up now. I'm still finna whoop your ass. And then,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I guess it's because he doesn't have the same memories, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't really
that's why
recognize.
yeah,
Gohan
I say
like
if he were to be complete.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could have done a little bit better with like villain or whatever, but I don't think Cell Max was important to the character.
Nah, it was just the climax.
It was Gamma 1 and 2. Gamma 1 and 2 were more important to the story than Cell Max. Cell Max was just like one of those things where like when you watch like the Avengers and you in the first one where you're just like, oh, Iron Man is fighting Thor and all this other stuff. But the real villain is over here. And that's kind of like why they just had Cell Max in there. Because they're just like, well, the real villain's Cell Max. We're just gonna have y'all fight a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, but this is the real. And well, the real villain was the dude that was controlling.
Oh, the little guy?
Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even a villain because he
turned out to not really be.
Yeah, he just wasn't. He got
No, I was talking about the other little guy. I was talking about the other
little
boss.
dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
boss
okay,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I did like kind of the story of like how the Red Ribbon Army never went away and stuff like that, and they kind of set everything up to get back at Goku and stuff like that. And they went after him. I also didn't like the Beast transformation only because they stole it from somebody online. And they never gave them credit because like the design for Beast has been a thing for a few years, and they kind of just stole that from them. And they're like, we're just gonna take it.
They were like, well,
So what are we calling Beast?
his transformation, Gohan's transformation, that new one we had.
Okay,
white
so
hair.
the late
Yeah.
because I was still confused on when Gohan goes black hair and has the electricity.
Yeah, that's all.
That's Mystic.
Yeah, Mystic Gohan.
Okay. Yeah, I was still confused about that. Maybe because I just haven't been looking to like mangas and everything else, like or remembering what happened previously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I've always thought Mystic was weird because Mystic was set up because it's supposed to be stronger than Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
But now he goes into Super Saiyan. So I don't know. Because like Toriyama kind of like retcons a lot of the stuff he says because like he forgets a lot. So that's kind of why there's so many different aspects in this. Because like, Trunks and Goten, he forgot that Saiyans were supposed to have tails. So that's why they never had a tail when they were a kid.
Yeah.
So like he just kind of forgets things and then adds things in later and stuff like that. So yeah, you just kind of got to work with it.
You got to work with him at this point. It's like, you know, you understand as a fan of DBZ that it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with.
So I think Gohan being, the strongest person or whatever is so okay. So how do you take then what Piccolo said? Do you think they're going to make Gohan the strongest character, or he said the strongest person on Earth?
He was supposed to originally.
So
remember, we talked about this a while back.
Gohan's always been my favorite character. So like he's always been the most powerful. But the problem, he's a reactionary character. So because he's reactionary, he's never just going to be out there like on Goku or Vegeta's level. But when he gets that reaction, he boosts all the way there.
Yeah.
So like technically he is the strongest out of everybody because he can get to that level without actually training. He's just naturally has that potential. So I don't care if he's the strongest, honestly, because I like him more than Goku and Vegeta anyways.
Okay.
I think that, technically Broly is technically the strongest.
I was going to say so after I saw the first Broly movie, Broly actually has always been my favorite character. Even though he was the villain, he's literally been my favorite character ever since I saw that first movie.
Yeah.
Like the old one, not even the new one.
Yeah, I know.
the old
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. No, my favorite villain is Kid Buu.
Yes, my favorite villain is Kid Buu.
My favorite villain is Kid Buu, but I've always liked Broly. I like both versions of Broly. I like this one, Super Broly. I actually like him. The only reason I like him a little bit better is because I feel like he has more room to grow than old Broly, because
just
old
strictly
Broly was just
legendary.
evil.
Yeah, it's a menace.
Old Broly seemed like a grown man. And he was. And this new Broly seems like a kid that's like trying to, like he's like Gohan's age or something. Like in his 20s or something.
I think also too because like they made it to where he's only on one planet, so he's never experienced anything from anybody else. And the other Broly went around the galaxy and like was destroying, because he destroyed all of South Galaxy and everything like that. He went around killing people, enslaving people, and he also had the two other depowered versions of himself. So like, the first depowered version of himself was like a real wimpy. He was wimpy. Like he was a timid person. And then once he powered up and everything, he kind of like his personality would change. But old Broly was just an evil individual.
Old Broly had personality disorder,
bro.
Like
the best thing, when I knew he was evil was when he asked Goku, "How much do you love your son?" Because I'm a killer.
But that was the part that I was like Broly is so evil. I was like, he was so evil that I liked it. But then the part that made me mad about him is that his story did not have substance. That's the only part that made me mad about him. I was like, you have so much potential to be the GOAT. Yeah. But but Toriyama just wrote you terribly. Yeah. I was like, he legit wasted a character just for a movie when he could have just. Well, now he's trying to use him now in a different way.
That's also how I feel about PyCon. Remember PyCon? I loved PyCon, but they did like very limited story. Like they could have made him canon, and I would have loved it.
Yeah, I think also that's kind of my gripe with Oob. Because they kind of set up, like they gave Oob a little bit more story in GT, but they really have a lot of potential to bring in Oob and have him do other stuff. And Oob is canon because they showed him in Super, so, but they're not doing anything else with him.
I thought they were trying to set it up to where he starts training at some point with them.
if they're gonna do that, they're late because
Yeah.
you know if you read the manga, he's not in that.
Oh shit!
Like they go
Alright.
to what is that dude's name? I can't remember what his name is. They go to him, and then they go to like Granola, and then they go to like all this other stuff. So like, if you're looking at the manga, and like the manga and the anime differ in certain aspects, but if you're going looking at that, like they're not really focused on anybody else.
Low key at this point, Ooh would be kind of like that's a fever dream. It's kind of like you see him, you think about GT, you're like, oh, this is like, oh, we need to bring this character in. But they pushed him off to the side so hard that he's kind of like a Yamcha. It's kind of like, all right, he doesn't really have much purpose as the main story. And then now that they brought this powerhouse in and actually changed his character to make sense with the storyline, then it's kind of like we know what we're focusing on. We know because if they get him to control with Broly.
Oh, I don't know what I mean. I feel like most of Broly's stuff is going to be movie based because he's not important to the story of Dragon Ball Z, like in the manga and everything.
Well, also, now he's a support character, and they're training him now.
Well, what I'm saying is like in the manga, Moro, that was his name. Like when they're fighting like Moro and they're fighting Granola and all this stuff, like they could use Broly, but because like some of this stuff, they need like the angels and stuff, but they can't interfere with certain aspects. So like they need other people who are strong, not just Goku and Vegeta. Like they could use Broly, but they don't ever use him because he's not important yet, or they're just not really focusing on him.
I'm so confused on why they don't use him. Like I get he can be uncontrollable, so they have to train him to control his emotions, but like
Well, like
they know how strong this guy
They
is.
know what's
because
happening.
like I feel like because
You need the powerhouse sometimes. You just
Yeah.
throw him out there. Have
Well,
fun.
I feel like depending on like who it is, regardless of how strong that person is, if you send Broly, no matter how bad he gets, if Goku and Vegeta are also getting stronger, all they need to do is fuse again. Because they beat his ass.
Yeah.
Like once they fused, they were fine. Like all you need to do is that. Or I mean, they still have Beerus and they still have Whis. Like yeah, they didn't want to interfere in the fight, but they interfere more than what they're supposed to, anyways. So
You might as well just get him right.
Something I'm really interested in is to see. I don't know if you see this in the manga, but like how strong like Beerus and Whis and like other gods of destruction and stuff are.
So
Isn't
like,
Beerus the strongest?
Yeah, he's the strongest. So Beerus is the strongest, and I think Whis might be the strongest angel apart from the Grand Priest.
Yeah.
Because
Whis is way stronger than Beerus, supposedly.
yeah,
Yeah.
Whis is Beerus's teacher. So like he's way like but all of the angels are far stronger than the gods of destruction because they are always in Ultra Instinct at all times. So they have like this whole little whatever they get going on. But I know that they did the fight in the manga with all of the gods of destruction, but in the manga it was a little bit different. But Beerus basically like in the manga everybody jumped him, and he beat everybody's ass.
Dang.
Like all of the gods of destruction were like, we need to take him out first. So they all went in him, and he basically just beat everybody's ass, and that was it.
That's crazy. Is his brother? So his brother might be second?
Champa? No, it's the clown.
Oh
Yeah, I figured
The
it'd be
clown one is the second, and I think Champa is third.
because isn't the clown the one that's over Jiren and them?
Yeah. So it's actually pretty cool. But because like in the manga, people have different powers in the manga. Like if you read the manga, like Master Roshi fought Jiren, and Master Roshi like damn near unlocked Ultra Instinct
The heck?
because all he needed to do is know what it is, and he basically tried it. Like he didn't get the transformation or anything, but he was fighting Jiren and he was just weaving. And and then in the manga, Gohan fights Kefla. So like that's how he gets eliminated because he fought Kefla and not Goku. In the anime, Goku fought in Ultra Instinct, but that's not how it happened in the manga. Also, Goku knows Hakai,
You said so. Who fought Kefla? You said Gohan fought Kefla in the manga, and he lost.
They
Or-
both they
they
both got
knocked
taken
each
out.
other out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the anime, he fought Dispo.
Who did he fight?
He fought Dispo,
Yeah.
and Frieza eliminated both of them. In the manga, he doesn't. He fights Dispo in the manga a little bit, but he gets eliminated with Kefla because the fusion was so strong. But he didn't want them to interfere with Goku and Jiren, so he fought them. And there's a whole bunch of little differences with people fighting people. And I think if they actually went with the manga, like some of the fights would be a lot better. And like, I really want them to have Goku to have Hakai in the anime because he has Hakai in the manga.
What is Hakai?
It's the move that that Beerus did to Zamasu. It like kills your soul and your spirit and like evaporates you. It's a move that only Gods of Destruction can do. It was like when Topo got into like the God of Destruction form and they were like shooting ki blasts or like rocks would hit him, it would like immediately disappear. It's because his body was covered in Hakai.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Goku learned it, and when he fought Fuse Zamasu, and like he's immortal, he used it. He was going to kill him, and that's how he was going to kill him in the manga. But he grabbed Mai, and he was like, I don't know if I can just control it to where it only kills you, or if it will accidentally kill Mai. So he stopped it, and then that's when they had to get like the Zeno and stuff like that. So
Something that I think I wish would have happened is, have you ever seen the pictures of Goku in Super Saiyan 5 where he looks like Super Saiyan 4, but he's just white?
Yeah.
I wish that was the ultimate form. Like, instead of like
that's what I
Ultra-
thought it was for a long time.
I've always thought Super Saiyan 4 is the best transformation out of like
Same.
every transformation that they have.
Same.
Because not only is it like it brings back Saiyan like biology, like
Yeah.
it looks the most Saiyan. It also is just like the coolest.
Did y'all ever notice, like, I thought about this one day, how, like, we say we evolved from, like, monkeys or whatever, and how Saiyans evolve into a monkey. I thought that was pretty cool.
I've always liked too that like I wish that they would kind of touch on this more. Like Goku is supposed to be the representation of
Son Wukong.
Yeah.
and like I wish they would do that more. Have the power pole and all that stuff and all of these little cool ass things, but they don't do that anymore.
I wish they would have did something with his son, Goten. I thought Goten was going to be something, but he's just there.
Well, I think that's also why, because like, for some reason, well, I understand it, but a lot of people don't like the Boo saga because of Goten and Trunks, because it got really kiddie and stuff like that, and they didn't like that, and also they thought it was very weird because Goten and Trunks kind of like transformed like it was nothing basically. But they did explain like as time progresses, like becoming a Super Saiyan is a lot easier if like you are a child of a Super Saiyan.
I wonder, are they the same strength though? Like how you can like
Goten and Trunks?
I'm talking about when you transform to Super Saiyan, it doubles your strength. I wonder like what is the difference for like the children, like when Gohan first went Super Saiyan, and then versus when Goten went Super Saiyan, he went Super Saiyan against fighting his mom. He was just like she hit him a little too hard, and this dude was like, "Hold up now." He said, "Hold up now." Instantly, blonde hair.
Yeah, I mean the transformation kind of depends on how strong they are already. So like if you like take all of them, like Goten is the weakest. So his transformation wouldn't make him I guess you would probably put his transformation and probably make it like base Gohan level, like as a teen. And then probably Trunks would be like maybe Gohan when he was a teen and got Super Saiyan 1. Because that's probably how I would judge it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a power scaler because I take showers and I touch grass. So, it's kind of weird. But I do like that they kind of aged them up a little bit in the superhero movie. So I think they have room to maybe do something else with them.
Yeah.
So how far do y'all think it's gonna go. Like, you know, they showed us Trunks as like a teenager when he first got introduced, and Trunks is still, I would say, younger. Like the Trunks we just saw is younger than the Trunks that came to help during the Cell or Android saga. And Goku is probably what, like 30, 40 or something like that.
They're like in their mid 40s because they age differently.
So
like,
they're
actually kind of old.
How long do y'all think they're going to keep this going? Because they're aging them kind of slow, in my opinion.
It's like they're low key trying to catch up with because Dragon Ball Super, I looked at it as one of those revamps. It was like, all right, DBZ was out for a while, like years. It's been done before we even were even thinking about it. And then GT came along, and then they were like, we're gonna act like this never happened. And then you had Dragon Ball Z. You had Dragon Ball Z Kai, like the kiddie version of it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they were like, I guess we need to do something else with the story because people got fed up with that. So I considered Super to kind of
real quick thing.
Yeah.
So Goku is 43 and Vegeta is 46.
Okay. Yeah, I considered.
My bad. And then Trunks is 12. Goten is 11. Gohan is 27. And I think that's all that showed. Oh, future Gohan, I guess at the end was 31. Bulma's 45. Chi-Chi's 41. Videl is 27. Yamcha's old as fuck. He's 47. Krillin's 42. Piccolo is 20. Well, technically he's not 25 because he's like a child, but whatever. Boo is over 5 million years old. Beerus is over 200 million
I thought that was
years
kind of
old.
weird about the Boo thing. Because when they mentioned Boo and they were talking about how many years or whatever, I was like, oh, I had no idea.
Oh, he's old.
Yeah. Well, because, he got put in stasis or whatever for like many years, but he had been around like with all the old Kais and stuff like that. And he was around before, during the time where Beerus was like active. But yeah, and then Frieza's like over 50, and that Broly, I think this is what they're talking about, is 48. I don't think that's that Broly.
Yeah, I think it'd be the other Broly.
He might be like a little bit younger than Goku. So, no, he might be 45 because he's older than Goku. So he might be like 45, 44 or something like that.
Yeah, it might be the case. But then as far as where it's going to go, answer to get back to that question, it was, I feel like all the animes are trying to do a revamp now. Like, I feel like they're trying, like the big three especially, I feel like they're trying to stay relevant. Like, obviously One Piece.
Don't say the big three. Say two, my nigga.
I was like, obviously One Piece never ends.
Yeah.
But
is One Piece still going?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
We the greatest.
He been trying to get me on. I've never denied it as it was a bad show. I say it's a good show, but as far as like the longevity of it, I'm like, how many worlds you gonna build until like you get to the end of it?
Look, I don't care what you say because we're the best selling manga in the entire universe.
You don't end.
I don't care. We sell more than Batman.
So One Piece is about
Congratulations.
the character finding treasure, right?
Technically,
because it's one piece of a certain amount of treasures.
No. So basically, like the thing with One Piece is it's the search for the treasure of the previous king of the pirates. So he wants to be the king of the pirates, and the reason that the story is so long is because it's not like Naruto, where like in order to become Hokage, you have to be a certain age and you have to be
specifically
voted in
within that village.
Yeah. With One Piece, there's so many other aspects that you have to do. You have to be stronger than like the 4 Yonkos, which are like some of the strongest people in that world. You also have to be stronger than the entire military. And so there's all of these different people, and then like that you have to be stronger than if you're going to be the king of the pirates. It's not just obtaining this treasure. That's only one aspect of it. Because if he wanted to find the treasure, he could. He had the ability to do that. He had the map that shows exactly where it's at. He destroyed it because he wanted to find it on his own. And also, One Piece is mostly about the journey.
Okay.
So the journey and seeing people grow and other people achieving their dreams is like the thing, because all the people of his crew also want to have a different goal. So like Zoro wants to be the strongest swordsman. So in order to fight all of these people, he has to do that. He has to figure out how to make his swords the strongest and stuff like that. Sanji wants to find the all blue, be the greatest cook in the world, all this other stuff. So, it's a good story. It's just a long story.
Yeah,
but
I think it's only long. Like that makes sense why for it to be a long if everybody wants to be the best at that specific thing, and then they open up the world to like this is a world thing versus just most anime stick to my village or stick to my city or stick to this is what we do behind closed doors and like we fight off demons or whatever while the other world doesn't know about these things.
Yeah.
You could extend. That's why I was like with Dragon Ball Z, it was like, okay, we're fighting off alien. Now we're expanding with Super.
I think that if we're going back to Super a little bit, I think they kind of dropped the ball a little bit with having the Universal Tournament. Because I think if they were going to do that, they could have done it better to where they have multiple other universes, not just the 12, because apparently there's more, and having stronger opponents and stuff like that.
Well, maybe they probably just wanted to have
Give them a taste.
Yeah, just like a beginning, and then like so maybe it becomes like okay, so we have galaxies and we think of clusters of galaxies and whatnot. Maybe which they could have did galaxies instead of universes,
Right? And I think they could have done like galaxies or something like that, or like how what is it? Champa and they had like the small universe tournament where it was just like a few people. They could have done something like that where it's just like those people fought. But I mean, like I like the universal tournament unless they do like the grand universal tournament or something like that where they bring in a little bit more.
They always been built on tournaments, and Dragon Ball is surrounded by martial artists. Like you can like the show could have gone like as longevity wise, it's lasted as long as how many episodes One Piece is, and so it's one of those things where I feel like DBZ represents like the epitome of martial arts, which is basically I'm training all my life.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how old I am, I'm always training, like Master Roshi, and then that is a recipe for something that can't end. Because you're always going to be like, well, shit.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, if you read, like, the manga, it gets a little weird with certain aspects because, like, Granola makes the wish to be, like, the strongest in the universe, right? So he goes and he fights Goku and Vegeta, and he basically beats their ass. That's when Vegeta gets Ultra Ego. And, like, if he made the wish to be the strongest in the universe, there's not really a reason as to why Vegeta should beat him. But Vegeta was beating his ass a little bit. Then somebody else made a wish to be like the strongest. So like that made them stronger than him. And then Frieza comes in and he's black now and he beats that person. So like what is being the strongest in the universe really mean? If like another person can just come and be stronger than you.
That's a lesson of life. It's always somebody out there that's gonna whoop your ass.
Sure, that's the thing. But like if you make a wish to the Dragon Balls to be the strongest, then there shouldn't be anybody that's stronger than you.
Well, I guess it's like a time frame because you're basically asking to be the strongest at that moment.
That is true.
Sure, but there's no time lapse in between these things. Like at this time, Frieza was traveling there. He wasn't training. He already had the Frieza black form. I mean, it makes sense for Gas to be stronger because he made the wish to be stronger than the previous person that was the strongest. But it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I think, like, I love Dragon Ball Z, but like Dragon Ball Z is not a good anime.
It's not for story.
It's not like it's not if you want to like it does have certain aspects of it that are good.
It has good storylines.
Like it has some good storylines, but Toriyama kind of messes up a lot because he's not good at remembering things. And he retcons other things. Sure, he's old, but that's also when you get a team that actually kind of helps you versus like make their own shit. because like his team basically makes Super. And so they kind of like go differently than what's going in the manga.
I feel like they lost that storyline stuff once they started, when people started hating on GT. Like cause Dragon Ball Z was like, all right, cool, masterpiece. Stood where it was. It had every arc of everything, and it was like, all right, cool, don't touch it. And then all they did was capitalize off of making the same game, like with the same story. They just did that with multiple different games, but same story, to the point where they were like, where it got to maybe a couple years back, where we were like, finally, like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the story. I need something different. And they bring in Xenoverse, which they low key could have capitalized off of making Xenoverse into the actual show.
Well, Xenoverse, they
By the
technically
way,
did.
I need to actually go, but y'all are more than welcome to keep going.
Oh no, we get the last anyway.
Yeah, we're at the last.
I had
little
people
bit,
coming in at 6, but yeah, this has been great. By the way, we should probably do it again sometime.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for having me on. I think that first off, just finishing what we were talking about, the storyline, I think it will be very interesting where they go with the Gohan thing and him being the strong. Just talking about being the strongest. So yeah, I don't know. It's a very, very interesting where they're going to put him against Broly. They're both very emotional when it comes to their strength.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we going to do? But I'll leave y'all to discuss that.
And we appreciate you, Jackson,
Right,
coming through to another episode. You guys, like we said, check them out. All this stuff is going to be down in the description below for sure. And we appreciate you again for allowing us to record. Thank you.
No problem.
Without you, this wouldn't be possible.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, how much time we got, anyways?
We're at the end anyway. We want to borrow time.
Okay, we can get to wrapping it up a little bit. Basically, what I was just saying is like, Dragon Ball Z story is kind of weird, and they should probably do better.
That's it. That's what it end on.
Kind of ending on Blue Beetle. The reason I don't like it is it just looks trash. It kind of also looks like they copied Marvel and Power Rangers.
He does look like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, especially at the end. Especially at the end, it was just like Power Rangers or whatever.
Who was it? What's the dude? King Lion. King Lion. He had put the music in the background.
Oh, he did?
No, it was somebody that put Jungle Fury.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you send that to me?
Yeah.
Yes, that shit was hilarious, and I was like, bro. But I was like, I'm not mad at it. We just gonna see about Blue Beetle. We gonna see. Look, I think it has the potential.
I don't know, because like looking at it, it didn't excite me. I love Blue Beetle, but like looking at it, it just was like whatever. I didn't really give a shit, honestly.
I got excited off of seeing George Lopez too. I was like, oh, okay.
I didn't care. I saw George Lopez and I was like, that's cool, I guess, but I don't really give a shit.
I saw him and I instantly started playing the song in my head. Ding, 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 ding.
That's racist.
I was like, this is gonna be funny.
It might be, but I don't know, because they've been kind of dropping the ball with some things too. So I hope that they use this movie to course correct the way that they've been doing movies. That's what I hope. But if they don't, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't take too much of a fun route, because it looks like it's a potential to be a fun movie. But
well, that's what I'm saying. Like it looks like they're like copying the Marvel formula of like making it bright and vibrant and trying to make
kind of how Shazam was. Like the first one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one either.
I know.
But yeah, like looking at it like that, or like Thor: Love and Thunder kind of thing.
I mean, what can you do with DC when all that shit was depressing in the beginning? It was just like dark doom and gloom.
I mean, hey, you
gotta go up from there.
That's the Snyderverse for you.
Doom and gloom. Well, you guys leave any comments below on what you guys think of the Black Beetle. I said Black Beetle. The blue. I'm tired. It's 6. The Blue Beetle. It's 6, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah. But y'all guys drop in the comments below on anything you guys, if you agree or disagree with any of our takes on Blue Beetle, how you guys feel about it, or especially with our anime conversation. And what else did we got into a lot? We got into a couple things.
It was mostly anime in that, and how you like the John Wick movie.
Oh yeah, I see what you guys think about the John Wick movie. We enjoyed it for sure. Is there anything else you want to?
Shoot, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah,
It's time to go ahead and get out of here. My lady is calling me.
She said, "Where you at?
She said, "Where you at? You still there?"
You're supposed to be on your way back."
On my way back to Nashville, that shit dead. Oh yeah, happy Easter.
This won't be out.
Oh yeah, it won't be out during this time, but happy belated
Happy
Easter.
late Easter. I
Happy
guess.
late Easter for sure for you guys. If you guys are going to
Go ahead and get your unrealistic eggs out of a
Yeah.
rabbit's ass.
shout out to the Easter Bunny. Shout out to you guys coming through. If you guys like everything that you've seen, please rate us 5 stars on all social medias. Not social medias, on all audio platforms. That helps us move up the algorithm so people can come and enjoy just like you guys if you did enjoy. We appreciate that. Like and share those things.
And if you're down with the get down, go ahead and subscribe.